this recognition is to those who have contributed to the Paul Harris Society, and we really appreciate you, Chris, putting your money in supporting Rotary Foundation and believing in us and what we do. I have your pin and your certificate. I look forward to doing an in-person social in October, so we'll present that to you. So congratulations, Chris. You are just a shining star and an amazing person. And as our president-elect, I'm really looking forward to next year and the great things that you're going to do.
Thank you very much.
All right. We also, it's not too late to register for the district conference and cruise. Myself and Andy are going. We would like to have 75 more people go. I talked to Chris's wife, Miss Angel, this last week, trying to get them to come. We have 3 departures or ports. We're going to see Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Roatan. And we do have planned service days in Costa Maya and in Cozumel. They're completely optional, but it's a lot of fun, a great way to network with the district, and just have a good time, putting service above self, actually getting on the ground and seeing the work that's being done. As you remember, we have donated over $500 worth of back to school supplies and sporting equipment that we'll be taking on the ship with us. So it's just kind of a special time, and there's always fun too. We'll have Bill did a great job organizing a night with all Rotarians, a nice champagne toast. We all have dinner together. It's just really a great time. So Lisa is your contact. Lisa and Bill are kind of our host travel agents. So please reach out to one of them if you are interested in coming. Upcoming events, we do have Roundtable. Roundtable is not just for the leadership team, it is for all. So I encourage all Rotarians that are in the area, please join us at Roundtable. It's a great way to just kind of, the district can do their job. Their job is to serve the club, but they can't serve the club unless we participate and we show up and we get that education. We get the awareness of what's going on and how can they help us grow membership. So there is an option to join on Zoom. The meeting starts at 10, and then this week we're going to be doing a service project of still packing back to school supplies. So we'll only be meeting from like 10 to 11 and then doing a service project. So those that are from the club, please join me and we'll have lunch afterwards. Upcoming events also, let's see, September 28th. Ken is the spouse of our district governor, Miss Regina Edwards, and his charity of choice this year is the Alzheimer's Association, and they have decided to participate in the regional walk. So we encourage everyone to sign up. You do not have to donate the $100. There's enough funds that have been donated on behalf of the district. So just sign up, come out and walk. I'll be coming out there with Milo, bringing my little dog with me. So Saturday, September 28th, and please register to join the team. And the district will have a table out there as well. So we want to make sure we're supporting District Governor Ms. Regina Edwards. We have Indian Polio. We have scheduled our event. We're doing a Pikes for Polio event on Thursday, October the 24th, again in Salina. We do have a sponsor already. The Lamar National Bank is sponsoring us for $1,000. So at least we have that in the bank. The restaurant will be donating 10% of all food donations. We've gotten the beer donated. We have leftover glasses. So every ticket raised will go completely 100% to our mission of ending polio together. So please share this. We want to get more people. There's an option just to make a donation if you would like to as well. So that's coming up in October. You know what? Let's mark that as our social for October.
Jerica?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've also just confirmed with the Boys and Girls Club in Grand Prairie that we'll have our Halloween party on Friday, the 25th of October.
Friday, October 25th.
Be out there like 3 o'clock.
And girls at 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. Will you text me the address?
Okay,
and I'll add it to our deck for next month.
okay.
Perfect, thank you. I know that was a lot of announcements. Anything else from the crew? Miss Linda, you mentioned the Boys and Girls Club. Is there anything else coming up? Any good stories anybody want to share? Any service projects that I need to log for the month?
Anybody that wants to can come out to the Envision on the third Friday night for their bingo. David won a gift card last time.
Bingo Vision. All right, I'll add that to the list as well. Thank you. All right, without further ado, Miss Linda, can you introduce our guest speaker tonight?
Oh, our guest speaker is past district governor Bill Denby. He is the assistant area audit committee for Rotary International. So he audits other clubs across the world. So he was governor in 2016 under John Germ. He's been everything, and he's one of the charter members of our club. And so anyway, it's always a great pleasure to hear him. He's very soft-spoken, so you'll have to listen hard, very hardly. Anyway, just listen.
Welcome, Bill.
Great, thank you. And if you want to stop sharing screen so I can see everybody, I would love that. Or I can share my screen when I have a presentation. But I am grateful to be here with the E-Club. I mean, gosh, punching way above our numbers and our number of hours of volunteer work. I guess a lot of that is Linda and David doing the work, but it sounds like everybody is going out and you continue to give. You're giving with your hours, but you're also giving with your funds. I love seeing the Paul Harris Fellows come on into the club and get the Paul Harris Fellow. That is a recognition that in many countries is considered to be an honor to have, and people recognize that pen all over the world. In some countries, you have to earn your Paul Harris Fellow through some good act, and they don't just award it for the raising of money. I thought that was interesting when I was in the UK a while back, and they said, "How did you earn yours?" And I said, $1,000 to the foundation. And they said, "You Americans are so gauche. We have to earn ours the old-fashioned way." But I love our organization. Rotary, we do things differently from country to country, and heck, from club to club. And y'all belong to one of the most unique, special clubs in our district. And it is an honor to have been founder of the club as we started with the Happy Hour Club that then morphed into the E-Club. I thought at one time that because other clubs were starting to go with online presence, that the E-Club might not maintain its relevance. And I see that as people like Howard move away and can still keep our communication and our community together, it has a place. It has a very good place within our district. And as far as the people who are doing the work, I've seen all sorts of workers here. Blake has made a mission out of caring for others and continues to do that work, but has been a friend as well to our district and to a lot of our fellow Rotarians. It's good to see Juliet. I haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you here. And I feel like I'm amongst friends. Y'all know Jarek is involved within the district doing the assistant governor work. And the problem with Rotary is if you say yes, they'll come back and ask you to do a little bit more. And they'll keep on asking you to do more and more. And Rotary can take over your life if you let it. It's one of those things that I let it because I love it. And I think all y'all are those kindred spirits. Y'all are the people that are givers, serving the world, serving our communities. But I think some of the most special service we do is for each other. And I'm grateful for the support that Rotarians have had, as Lisa and I have had the weirdest 3 years of our lives. It's been Rotarians who've been there and supported. And many of y'all are right here with us tonight. So I'm grateful to be here with you because of the friendships and the goodness we do for each other. My job within Rotary, I've got several jobs, and Linda mixed two together when she did the introduction. I am the assistant area coordinator for the foundation. I have 4 districts. That's about 200 clubs in which I'm doing foundation education. to talk about what our foundation does for the world and how we can participate in doing that work with the foundation, how we can direct how the money is spent from the foundation, how we can do our own local district matching grants and global grants. I also work with the fundraising, and I was so thrilled to see you already have your October, October 24th is World Polio Day, and Rotary International has a premier role in the eradication of polio worldwide. And they ask every club to do something to create awareness for the rest of the world of what we've done for this eradication and how so close we are. We cannot let up. Last week in the news, we saw that polio was in what place it had been eradicated from. Y'all remember the news? Anybody remember where polio suddenly showed up again? It got
David's muted. I've
David
tried to do
muted
that,
me.
but
There were 2 cases.
Oh, we lost Mr. Bill.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Pakistan and Afghanistan were the last 2 countries, but it did pop up in another country last week, and I do not remember.
There's like 14 now between Afghanistan and Pakistan. And let me see if I can find that note. Anyway, 2 showed it was in Africa. So I can't remember. Sorry about that, people. Bill should be coming back on. Lisa, I guess he got knocked off.
We're actually not in the same place, so I don't know.
Right.
He had set it up at the house. I could tell by being outside, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Says, as of 4 days ago, 2 new wild polio cases reported this week. We are now 3 weeks since the onset of paralysis of the most recent reported wild polio case in Afghanistan.
Okay, and then there was 2 in another country. That was in last week's notice. And I don't know why I can't find his email. Okay. We can go on. He'll be back on shortly, I'm sure.
So, Miss Linda, why don't you share a little bit more about your experience with the Rotary Foundation?
Well, David and I are both major donors, and we've
What does that mean, major
we have
donors?
given over $10,000, and it doesn't have to be in 1 year. If you want to, you do a White Hat Society where you give 5,000 in 1 year. So David did that 1 year, and we've given most of our Paul Harris's have been to other people outside of Rotary. We did give one to, I gave one to Blake and I gave one to Shiloh. And most of the others have been to other people outside of Rotary for the support that they give us. But anyway, I enjoy it. It's always nice to go to the dinners and everything they have for the major donors at conventions and everything. And so,
well, and I definitely want to point out that there is a benefit to our club. The money that you give to Rotary Foundation, it goes into a savings account or an investment account for 3 years. And partial of that money comes back to the district. So that is how we're able to apply for district grants. This year, we have been approved for $1,500 of free money. So that's based upon our giving to the foundation. So I feel like it is a great win-win when we do. You're helping. Rotary is a great nonprofit. I think the ratio is 98% of every dollar goes back into the mission. So for Charity Navigator, which is a great third-party company that evaluates nonprofits, Rotary International is in the top 5 for being good stewards. Yes, Miss Lisa?
Bill said he's in the waiting room and has been waiting for someone to let him back in. I don't know who that would be.
Well, that's David or Jericho. Wait, it hasn't rung up.
I don't see.
Go over to participants.
Kitty cat. Don't see him?
No,
No, I don't see him in the waiting room. I saw Miss Carlissa's note that she's having internet.
yeah, I don't see him in a waiting room.
Yeah.
I'll call him back and report back.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So that's a little bit why I give to Rotary Foundation. I do the Paul Harris Society. What that is there we go. Here we go. It's considered part of my tithe. So I personally give to the Rotary Foundation $100 each month. That's just my personal decision because I do believe in the good work that the Rotary Foundation does. And also seeing the reward of that money coming back to our club in the form of grants where we can benefit from that and reach more people. So welcome, Bill.
I don't know where it cut off. I was
That's
on a
okay.
roll
That's
for
okay.
you guys and talking about the the joy that y'all are participating in the Pints for Polio. Pints for Polio is a good way to share with the world our role in polio eradication. And I was saying polio did show up again. It was down to Pakistan and Afghanistan. And we thought in 2 years the world would be polio free, and we as Rotarians would be the ones that crossed the finish line on a project that was started in the 1970s. So we've been faithful to it for a long time, but we have to keep the last push to keep the match from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I heard you talking about what you do for the foundation. I love our foundation. It's a real gem to the work that has been able to been done worldwide from the funds from our foundation. It's phenomenal. And even if we were not Rotarians, but just had a whole bunch of money and were philanthropists, if we were to go research where money is best put to work, according to outside independent groups like the Charity Navigator and the other watchdog groups for charities, the Rotary Foundation continually ranks oftentimes as the #1 charity in the world for money getting to where it's supposed to go. And a large reason for that is because we have volunteers working wherever we're sending money. If we send money to India, it's not in a vacuum. It's to other Rotarians like us who are meeting there at their Rotary meeting, maybe on a Tuesday night, who care about their community. And it's the people who are the movers and shakers and doers in their community who have a love for humanity like we do. And when we send them money, they want to make sure it gets placed. That goes a long way in countries like India and Africa, where other non-governmental agencies, organizations have had challenges making sure the dollars get to the actual people that we're trying to benefit. It's also, we have a full team of volunteers doing a variety of jobs. I'd mentioned that I've got the area foundation to show people about the foundation, but I'm also the International Audit Committee chairperson, which means for Rotary International all around the world, for the 1.4 million Rotarians, for the $100 million of good that we do every year. The Rotary has external auditors at Deloitte and Touche and internal auditors in Evanston, and the Rotarians that oversee that is the audit committee. And that job of audit is hundreds of hours of good volunteer time given away by other people around the world who serve on that committee. And so I'm proud of our foundation because of all the good work that we direct and that we see is getting done, but it's getting that international and independent validation that our money is well spent. So for wealthy folks, or even us unwealthy folks who want to make a difference, the foundation is really putting our money where we are. And I think Jericho was sharing that we get to direct where a lot of that money goes. November is our foundation month. And we'll be talking in November about all the different things that our foundation does locally and worldwide. This club, I implore y'all to do a global grant this year, to partner with other clubs that are doing the global grants. I know that Andy has been very instrumental in raising money for us with the Paul Harris Society. The Paul Harris Society is somebody who gives, Paul Harris Fellow, it's $1,000 or points in dollars uh, to be a Paul Harris Fellow. A Paul Harris Society member is somebody who does $1,000 every year. I can remember about 20 years ago when I was approached to do the Paul Harris Society that I was terrified about making a big commitment. $1,000 when you own your own business. Howard, you had those years where we didn't make as much as we thought we might, where the outgo was bigger than the income, and it's kind of fluffy when you're 20 years ago just getting started in the my tax and investment practice. It was a scary time to make a big commitment. But just like Jerica, when I broke it down to $84 a month, I thought, well, I spend that much on dumb things. And they told me that if I ever couldn't do it, you just stop the payments on the credit card. And no one's going to come out and tell you shame on you. They're going to be grateful for what we've already been able to do. And sure enough, over the 20 years, I've had periods of time where Lisa and I had to have serious discussions on, do we really need all 100 channels on that cable bill? And what can we cut back and still not feel the pinch too much in our lives? And that Rotary never was on the chopping block because it was a place where we saw our money going to where our heart is and things that we really believe in, and knowing that we are making the difference and we have hands and minds in the process. It became maybe one of our favorite charities outside of church and alma maters. I think that the Rotary Foundation is a key thing to us personally. And I know it is for several of y'all here. And I think that making that step to Paul Harris Society member, it's kind of a challenge, but oh my gosh, if you can do it, I would encourage you to do it. There's a special recognition for clubs that are 100% Paul Harris Society clubs. I know you already have 2 or 3 people in your club that are doing that, but I never, ever want to put pressure on anyone because I don't like to be strong-armed into giving, and it may make me the wrong person to be foundation chair. But I find that most of us are generous. Y'all are Rotarians because of your innate generosity, because you are willing to give to your fellow man, that you want to give somehow, some way. And I know when I first joined Rotary, I didn't have money to give. I gave my time and I gave a lot of it. Well, a lot of y'all are giving a lot of time and you're giving a lot of money. And I'm truly grateful for you. But if you'd like to learn more about how to give to the foundation and the different ways in which we can leverage the gifts giving and how we can get money back out of the foundation to do projects, I stand by ready to serve. I mentioned that Andy had done a lot of work towards building our Paul Harris Society members, but I really would challenge this club to work with another club or start a project yourself. There are so many needs internationally, and we have money this year for international projects. And I'll point to the Plano North Texas Pioneers Club that a year and a half ago decided they wanted to do a water project in the Dominican Republic for a special needs school. Children who were left by their parents because they had Down syndrome or some sort of mental retardation. The school was just barely surviving, and water is a constant effort because they have to go several blocks to get clean potable water. And he conceived of a project that would not only bring a water purification system into the walls of the school so the students wouldn't have to leave the premises, but would filter enough water so that they could become the providers of water to other people in the community for a small cost. And this small cost has allowed the school then to have funds to get more caregivers to take care of the students. And in addition, it's allowed the other people in the community to have a lower cost access to clean drinking water. It has been a win-win, and that income makes the project very sustainable because with the income, they're able to maintain the equipment. This was conceived by an attorney, and some of y'all may know Bob Hill. Bob Hill is a kind of a no-nonsense kind of attorney, not the He's the go get her done and tear it apart, prickly kind of guy, and said, I don't want to deal with a lot of people. I just want to get the job done. But he was able to make the connections in the Dominican Republic, to get the host club, to work with the international club, to work with the other NGOs, to do a project that cost about $200,000. And our Rotary district put in 30,000, his club put in 10. So with $10,000 for their club, they were able to do about a $200,000 project. I'll be sharing information on that project. It is duplicatable. We have projects by our past district governor, Dave McSpadden, who's done work in Africa, who's inviting us to participate with his project in Africa. We've done district matching grants and done work in Cuba. Did anybody here go to Cuba with me? Looking around, nobody here. Would y'all like to go to Cuba? Did you know Americans aren't supposed to be going to Cuba? But we've got a special dispensation if we go to Cuba with Rotary. And we could all do a little good work in Cuba and go visit Cuba. And it's still Cuba, the 1950s. We were starting to relax tensions under the Obama administration. Things were getting more normal. And there are a lot of people afraid that Cuba was going to change forever. And then it didn't. And we're back to a very restrictive island that is got a lot of character, but they've got a lot of needs. And we are able to meet those needs with district matching grants. And y'all can arrange a service trip district matching grant and do some good work to a place like that. I like doing work where there are needs, but I like travel in general. I love seeing the world. And how many of y'all like going to see the world? I mean, traveling, show of hands, is it like half the group here? Almost everybody likes to travel and experience different things. The food, the culture, the music, all that stuff excites me. But to go experience all that and then to uplift lives while we're there, to do a little bit of good while we're there, oh my gosh, that's one of the best experiences ever. And that's one of the reasons why I think this district conference cruise is appealing to people, because we're able to get to Roatan and do a little work while we're there. We're going to do the work in Cozumel that we've worked with over and over again. And for as much as a wonderful tourist destination and great dive spot, there's a lot of poverty just on the other side of the island that people don't see. And there are needs that we're able to meet in a very positive way. And they've got other issues on the island because they've been overlooked by the cruise ships. And they've brought in all sorts of things that are kind of negative on the islands that they're looking for help to deal with. And so Rotary has been instrumental in helping fight the drug war that they're having. To drugs show up because the tourists want them, but then the young people start getting on the drugs. They have the human trafficking going on, other issues that Rotarians within our district and elsewhere are very seriously taking on. And we can go participate and see the work. And just being there for a day allows us to see the work that's been done by our district and other Rotarians all over the world, and gives us a reason to assist when we ask for the help in the future. So I like our Rotary travel. I challenge this e-club, if y'all got the bandwidth and the energy to do an international project, or let's make this trip with the district. Y'all don't need the district with all the good stuff y'all have going on. You're one of the few clubs that are checking all the boxes for the citation. And the citation is built upon the things that have been discovered that make a healthy, good club that is meeting the needs of its members and the needs of its community. So I think y'all are doing a lot of good work. But if I can be of service in any way to help you do a global grant or district matching grant or some Rotary fund travel with the whole district or on your own, that's what I do. And I stand by ready to serve, because to me, y'all are a very special group. And I like everybody here that I've spent years with. And then y'all new folks I'm getting to know, and I'm enjoying you. I mean, Chris showed up at the event and they had me up there emceeing, and I'm trying to keep up with the script and talking for 2.5 hours. It was exhausting, but he found the time to come up and give me a big old hug and wish me the best. And it feels good. Y'all are my people, and I'm very, very, very grateful that we're all Rotarians serving the world together. So let me know how I can help out. And I guess at this point, I'll open up for any types of question regarding audit or uh, foundation or fundraising or fund spending. And yes, I saw a hand go up. Who was that? Yes.
Oh, Linda. Okay, we do this project for the tuberculosis with Mexico. And I have like 5 clubs across the state in this area that contribute that. And we get our matching grants. And then I have these other clubs that participate. And we've been doing this since 2008. And we feed between 38 to 40 families where tuberculosis is their family. And so we can usually feed them for a month or two on what we raise here. And but I've got the Brownsville people in there. I've got Central Texas E-Club. I've got the suicide prevention. I've got the University Austin Club. And then I've got some individuals that also contribute. So anyway, but that's one of our big sort of international projects.
I love it. And you've been doing that for years, and it's phenomenal, the good network you built of clubs and supporters all over the state to do it. It got weird during COVID, and when they shut down the border and all, we couldn't get to the clinic anymore. And when y'all were going across the border to the clinic, then now not as much. But
well, they had to shut the clinic down.
commendable.
Yeah, they had to shut the clinic down because of the drug cartels. And they were having gun stops and everything along the highway between Reynosa and Rio Bravo. So that closed down. It's now used as a school, I think, for computers and something, but the building is being utilized.
Oh, any questions about anything to do with foundation fundraising or giving, or any questions about getting funds? You got the blessings of a couple past district governors in your midst that may be able to walk through things and get to the funds, but anything that I can answer.
Can I ask a question about collaboration?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it possible for instance, like our club to collaborate with other clubs in other countries and do a project together?
That's the only way
That's
the global
exactly-
grant works.
That's exactly what's involved in the global grant, is that we find a host club where we're doing the project, and then we're the international club that tends to fund the project. And what was interesting is this club I was talking about in Plano, the North Texas Pioneers. The man had the project. He loved the school. He realized they needed water. He made friends with an NGO that puts water projects together and does water bottling and shows people how to make it self-fund. But he didn't have the international component. And when I was saying that it was not in his nature to go make friends, he later said it would have been so much better had I started with the Rotary Club in the Dominican Republic, gone and visited the members for a little bit, and then asked them if they would be interested in partnering with a project that he thinks needs to be done in their area, get them to buy in on the project, and then provide the money once he had the buy-in. He said he went about it in a push kind of way. He knew what he wanted. He was going to get it. And the Rotary International required the host club. So we had to partner with another club, but he didn't think he needed a partner. Well, it slowed the process down in several ways. So when he was doing his reflections back, he says that's exactly what we should be doing, is making the partnerships, meeting. And that it gives a distinct advantage to people like Sisi Chamakala, who is from Kerala, India, who has done a lot of work back in Kerala because he's got family, he's got fellow Rotarians there. It makes it easier for Rotary Club of Dallas. We have a member who's from Ghana, Africa, and we've done a lot of work back in Ghana because we know the club members there as well. And that type of cooperation means that you're able to do a project and you feel more comfortable working on the project, where problems are always coming up when you start a project. Cost overruns can happen. Things can not go as planned. And it's just a lot easier to get through that when you already have a solid relationship. So Jack, good question. And the answer is yes. Do you have a concept that you want to pursue?
Oh yeah, my younger brother, he's the Rotary president of a club in a place called Asaba City District. Yeah, he's the Rotary president there. So he's looking forward to collaborate with us here over there so that we can collaborate and do stuff together. So I said, okay, I will talk to my people. I know how this thing is done because personally I don't know how it's done.
That's exactly the type of relationship. If you feel comfortable that you can direct a project that your club has a heart to work on, y'all can spearhead it. And even if you don't have enough money to do everything at your club, once you've got a good idea, money is easy to find.
Yeah.
I've heard over and over again people say, I'm afraid to do it because we don't have the funds here. But almost every time we've addressed that situation, we've been able to find the funds. We've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars because there are a lot of wealthy, generous people who, if you're really spending the money in the right way, they will help you. I recently did a podcast interview with Sanjeev Khanna, who is from, I think he's also in Plano, who did the corneal eye transplant surgeries in India. He got the cost where it was only $200 to get the site to a person in India that had needed a corneal replacement. And you can only do it with other corneas. There's not a solution other than donors. And he got the cost down to $200. They did several thousand of these surgeries. And he met Tony Robbins, who said, if you're really doing this, here's $300,000 from our foundation to do more. He's now able to handle so many in his area. They just don't have enough donors. And it's organ donation is a challenge for him at this point. But they've gotten the cost down. The money came. He's gotten over $400,000 from outside sources because he built a great concept and shared the concept. So I guess my point is, yes, Jack. The answer is yes. If you find it, you can do it. We can do it at the club here, but not just the club here. With our resources, we can spearhead and raise money from lots of other organizations and sources to do good work, whatever it may be, from medical as far out as eye surgery to water purification to environmental concerns to, I don't know, Jericho, what are the things we're doing in Cozumel? A culinary arts.
Right. So I think that's the key is we're always partnering with like-minded folks. We're in Rotary together, and the partners is in Rotary together too. So the money is going where it needs to be because they are like-minded folks. I do want to end with the so what. So Bill mentioned November is Foundation Awareness Month. My ask to you guys this year is I would like to see our club become 100% Rotary Foundation supporters. And how we do that is each Rotarian donate $25 to Rotary Foundation. So I'm really going to support and push that in November. That's a strong goal of mine for this year. Get us united and tied to the Rotary Foundation, the good work that comes from that, not only from the district and district grants that we're receiving $1,500 this year, but also, Jack, maybe we can do a global grant. So we got to give to the foundation in order to get that money back. So thank you, Bill, for your time today. Thank you guys for coming out on a Tuesday night. I'm going to share my screen and let's close us out with the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. All right. Please join me in saying the 4-way things. The 4-way test are the things we think, say, or do. First.
Is it the truth?
True. Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
You good?
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Better friendship will lead the
Fourth.
beneficial to all the
Beneficial to all concerned.
And fifth, will it be fun?
time.
Thank you guys for coming out today. I appreciate your gift.